Hello and welcome to the extra episode of my trophy guide for Final Fantasy XVI. This video is not required to go through the guide. It simply serves as a section where I can share some information about the run to keep each episode as short and packed with content as possible. Ignoring some details and discussing them here will make that a lot easier. But of course, you can always use the comment section of the respective episode. I generally answer questions within the day. Before addressing the actual contents of the game, I want to first address a different topic. At the point of recording, this game has one DLC with another one scheduled for release soon. After the release of this guide, I will release 2 more episodes covering all the trophies in the Echoes of the Fallen DLC, and I will also cover the Rising Tide DLC. However, since it is not out yet, I could not route all the trophies together. Instead, I will cover the DLCs with the save file I have used throughout the guide. I will make an additional mini extra episode for each DLC, so keep in mind that all the following info does not take any DLC into consideration. First, I will give some general information. Personally, I give this game an overall difficulty rating of 4 out of 10. Most of the game is very easy, but some of the chronolith trials can be a little tricky. I will specifically address the timely accessories in its own section. When it comes to grinding, I rate this game as a 2 out of 10. You might need a few attempts for the chronolith trials, and we will also grind AP for about 35 minutes to unlock all icon feats and abilities. There is just one missable trophy, and you have to go out of your way to make it missable. The Götterdämmerung requires a list of materials to craft. Those materials are finite within one playthrough, and thus cannot be reacquired if you sell them. Just never sell anything and you will be fine. There are no multiplayer trophies and using cloud saves is not useful during this run. The final run with all skippable cutscenes removed clocks in at a little under 26 hours. A little longer than I had hoped, but this is just a very long game with several long unskippable cutscenes, and we have to play through it twice. Now there are just a few more things I want to elaborate on before we start. First are the timely accessories. Remember that I said the game is very easy, aside from the trials. In fact, I would rate this game as just a 2 out of 10 by itself, even including the second playthrough on the highest difficulty. Here's why. In this game you can equip up to 3 accessories at a time, and there are 5 accessories to which you have access from the start of the game that are meant to make the game easier. I will go over those now. The Ring of Timely Assistance will allow your companion Torgal to attack and deal damage passively without requiring any additional input from your side. The Ring of Timely Focus will slow down time right before you get hit, allowing you to evade more easily. The Ring of Timely Evasion automatically has you evade incoming attacks if possible, meaning if your current action can be cancelled, it will be cancelled to evade. If not, then you will get hit. The Ring of Timely Strikes will use all your combat abilities including icon feats and abilities by just pressing square. The Ring of Timely Healing will automatically use a potion if your health drops below a certain point. Note that the Ring of Timely Assistance is included in the Ring of Timely Strikes, and the Ring of Timely Focus is included in the Ring of Timely Evasion. However, it is still best to look at some of these separately. Let's start with the Ring of Timely Strikes. This ring will get you killed. Never use it. As we go through the game, we will equip up to 6 icon abilities at once. Many of them have wind-up animations which lock you into place and make you vulnerable. This ring will randomly activate them, and it is only a matter of time before you end up game-ending yourself. It does not matter if you also have the Ring of Timely Evasion equipped, since it only evades if your actions allow it. Talking about it, the Ring of Timely Evasion is still absolutely ridiculous. There are 2 ways to get hit while having it equipped. Using an icon ability that cannot be cancelled while being attacked, or being careless around the very few attacks in this game which you have to manually look out for and avoid. And getting hit is only an actual problem if you're fighting late game bosses on Final Fantasy mode, as they can actually just one-shot you. More about our playstyle when I talk about icon abilities in general. With this, the Ring of Timely Focus is completely useless of course. And even the Ring of Timely Healing is not very helpful, especially when considering that we only have 3 accessory slots and there are other accessories we want to use as well. Last, the Ring of Timely Assistance does add some DPS, but this becomes negligible very quickly and there are even sections where Torgal is not with us. and again there are better accessories. This means that we will only use the Ring of Timely Evasion for the entire run. Note that we will keep these accessories when starting New Game Plus on the highest difficulty, Final Fantasy mode. Now let's quickly talk about icon feats and abilities. Throughout the game, we will unlock abilities tied to the 8 icons. We will also obtain ability points or AP from battles, which can be spent to upgrade or acquire new icon feats and abilities. While we eventually have to unlock them all for a trophy, we will not even come close to that by simply playing through the game. That means we will have to think carefully about what abilities to use and when to upgrade them. Thankfully, you can always reset an ability and get back all the AP you spent. There are also 14 trophies tied to using certain icon feats and abilities in specific ways. We will pick them all up whenever it is most convenient to do so. Apart from that, you can spend all your ability points however you want to. I will make heavy use of them myself. I will always explain my strategy and reason behind what I do, but you do not necessarily have to follow that aspect of the guide. Just know that ignoring icon feats and abilities will drastically increase the length of your playthrough, since those are your main damage source. If you're a seasoned trophy hunter, you might know that most games have some obscure trophies with unclear conditions. This game has one of those as well, and it's called Be Rosfields. This trophy reads, visit all areas on the world map and local maps. While it is not a difficult trophy to obtain, I still found it fascinating that I could only find a single list that named all required areas. And since this list was provided by PSN Profiles, it should not be a surprise to hear that I found it to be incorrect after just a few minutes of testing. So what counts as an area on the world and local maps? It simply means a part of the map that has to be uncovered by going there. It does not matter what kind of location it is. It does not matter if the name of the location is already on the map. It only matters if the map fragment is revealed. Having said all that, here is the actual list of all 68 locations you have to visit for the trophy. The only 2 locations you will never visit automatically by completing all tasks tied to other trophies are the Weeping Rend in Sambrek and the Edge of Infinity in Waloed. I have of course tied in both locations throughout the guide. Next, I want to talk about the trophy You're Not the Boss of Me. This trophy requires you to defeat a boss without taking damage. And while this in itself is not really difficult at all, it's also not entirely true. In fact, there are exactly 16 bosses eligible for this trophy. I will list them here. Finally, I want to mention that I have originally recorded the first playthrough including all cutscenes. I am very fond of this game, and if you would rather watch the entire playthrough including cutscenes and without commentary, you can do so by clicking the link in the description. I have uploaded the entire thing as an unlisted playlist. The first 12 episodes will feature the first playthrough with all cutscenes, 1 episode per chapter. And the final episode will be the entire Final Fantasy mode playthrough without cutscenes. That sums up all I wanted to say before we get into the game. Following this is a little showcase of all the trophies. With that, I hope you enjoy the run, and I will see you later.